Hello there, welcome to the programme.
Coming up tonight, mother's legacy. 19 years after her death, inspirational fundraiser Jane Tomlinson saves her daughter's life.
Most of my childhood was with mum having treatment for breast cancer. So for me, I had the option to minimise that.
A leading Yorkshire law firm closes without notice, leaving clients, including house buyers, in legal limbo and staff out of work.
We'll have a roundup of last night's football action, including the Blades slicing through Oxford United's defence to come from behind.
Fall in.
I can follow you like a dog to the end of the world.
Fall in love.
And what would Emily think? The classic Bronte novel Wuthering Heights gets a racy Hollywood makeover.
Good evening. She was an inspirational woman, known across the country for her incredible fundraising, and all whilst dealing with terminal cancer.
It's 19 years since Jane Tomlinson died, but the legacy of the mother of three from Leeds is still being felt today. No more so than by one of her daughters, Rebecca.
That's because in losing her own life, Jane has saved Rebecca's. It's all down to Jane storing a blood sample which could later go through genetic testing so that her children could understand their risk of developing cancer. Vicky Smith has been to meet Rebecca.
Jane Tomlinson was a woman like no other, taking on endurance feat after feat, all while having incurable cancer. When she died in 2007, she left behind 3 children, but also left a blood sample so it could later be tested for hereditary cancer genes.
She decided to save her blood for us then as children. If we then decided growing up we wanted to know, then that was our decision. It wasn't something that she decided for us.
That decision was taken as a family in 2023. Testing revealed Jane did carry the BRCA2 gene mutation, which dramatically increases the risk of breast cancer and ovarian cancer. Soon afterwards, Rebecca found out she had it too.
When I'd found out Mum had the BRCA2 gene, there's always a running joke in the family that I am most like my mum in temperament and character. So in my head I just was thinking, well, of course I've got the genes. I was still hoping that I didn't have it. I was devastated at the time, and it took a while to digest that news.
A certain set of criteria has to be met to be offered genetic testing, but it has grown significantly in the NHS over the past 2 decades.
Any of these inherited predispositions, what they tell us is that there's an increased risk of certain cancer types. It never tells us that the person is going to get cancer. And that's why there's decisions to be made for people about how to address that risk.
Rebecca had a double mastectomy and a fallopian tube removal, saying that now, as a mum of 2, she wanted to take preventative action.
Most of my childhood was with mum having treatment for breast cancer from when I was 5 years old to when she died when I was 19. So I watched the breast cancer come back constantly, and I think it was just making sure that I would be here for my kids.
Just months before her death, Jane Tomlinson launched the first Run for All. With annual races still taking place, her legacy as a fundraiser lives on. But for 2 decades, her greatest legacy remained private: a blood sample and a determination to protect her children. Vicky Smith, ITV News, Leeds.
Jane Tomlinson still leaving an amazing legacy 19 years after her death.
Yeah, she did so much good, didn't she? And
really
I
did.
think, you know, everybody, our viewers, will remember her very fondly.
Yeah, absolutely, certainly will. Now, home buyers potentially out of pocket and hundreds of staff out of work. The impact of the sudden closure of a major law firm in Yorkshire.
PM Law, an umbrella group which is based in Sheffield, has almost 20 partner companies across the county and elsewhere in the country. Several specialise in conveyancing, but some also deal with personal injury claims and other legal services.
However, earlier this week, employees were told not to turn up for work. Clients too have been left in limbo. Adam Fowler was outside the head office of PM Law for us earlier.
Well, what's really happened here is the million-dollar question, because as far as staff and clients knew, as recently as last week, everything was perfectly normal. Then 7:30 a.m. on Monday morning, staff were told not to turn up for work, effectively leaving them unemployed with no notice and no real reason why. And this, of course, leaves clients in devastating positions too. I spoke to a first-time buyer in Mansfield earlier on today who was dealing with PM property lawyers who took nearly 9 months to complete the sale of a flat with no chain on either end, and he just paid all his fees, was just about to finally complete this week, and then this happened. Now he can't get through to anybody via email, can't get through to anybody on the phone, and he's no idea if or how he's going to get his money back.
They wanted to sell, I wanted to buy. Now that I'm in a predicament where that could be jeopardised, who knows what could happen? It's uncertain, and this leaves me with an awful lot of anguish and distress, particularly as a first-time buyer. I have very little experience on you know, all of this, so yeah.
Well, you can see behind me the national headquarters of PM Law Group. Of course, there are other businesses in that building that have nothing to do with this and, of course, are carrying on as a normal. The PM Group itself has at least 14 law firms under its banner and an estimated 600 employees. We spoke to one of those employees earlier on the condition of anonymity, and she's voiced here by an actor.
By 9:30 of Monday morning, we were locked out of emails, out of the computer system. We can't access the office, so there's no way of contacting the clients at all, and the impact on them is going to be massive. I literally burst into tears. I couldn't believe it. My first thought was my children. How am I going to pay the bills and what am I going to do? It was such a shock because there was just no warning, nothing. We were all just blindsided.
So an abject nightmare for clients and staff too. I spoke to one firm of solicitors earlier on about the impact that it will have on clients and what their options are now.
It'll be devastating. It's going to be a time to consider, to try and gather as much information as you can and reach out to other practices like mine who are offering a dedicated landline to support them, to try and get them through as quickly as possible. But it may not be that quick for some of them, depending on where they are in their transaction.
Well, we spoke to the Solicitors Regulation Authority. They said, we understand that PM Law Limited has closed suddenly and not in a manner we would expect. We're in contact with the firm and will take appropriate action to make sure clients are protected. We expect that those affected should be updated soon. Of course, it goes without saying, Calendar also tried to speak to the PM Law Group, but unfortunately, as we've said, their phones and their website were down.
Thank you very much. Adam Fowler in Sheffield there. Still to come.
I'm at the Bronte Parsonage in Haworth, ahead of the much-anticipated release of the latest Hollywood adaptation of Wuthering Heights, set, of course, in the misty moors of Yorkshire.
Yes, and the weather's all been a little bit Wuthering Heights over the past week at least. And from tonight into tomorrow, we're back to the wily, windy and wintry. All the detail a little later on.
Kerry, thank you. Now, more than 350 jobs could be lost at the Drax Group, which runs the power station in North Yorkshire. Drax says they're restructuring in the UK and North America, and 350 roles are at risk. It's not yet known how many jobs could be affected at the facility near Selby. The GMB union representing British workers is calling on the government to step in.
A fire has ripped through a garage in Sheffield, destroying vehicles and equipment. Cars have been left burnt out after the blaze broke out in premises on an industrial estate in Pittsmore. It happened in the early hours of this morning. Smoke in the area also meant that residents were asked to keep their doors and windows closed until the fire was dealt with.
Time for a little bit of sport now, and contrasting fortunes for both Sheffield clubs in the Championship last night. United came from behind to beat Oxford 3-1 at Bramall Lane, a result that lifts the Blades up to 15th in the table, 8 points off the playoff spots. Meanwhile, it was a familiar story for beleaguered Wednesday, an 8th straight loss at Blackburn. The Owls haven't scored a goal since Boxing Day.
Meanwhile, in League One, Doncaster eased their relegation fears somewhat with a 2-1 win at Burton. Both Rovers' goals coming in the opening 12 minutes. But it was a pretty frustrating night for Barnsley, who did come from behind to lead 2-1 against second-bottom Northampton, only to concede yet again to eventually draw the game 2 apiece.
And Harrogate is slipping further into the mire. They're 5 points adrift at the bottom of League Two following a 1-0 defeat to Swindon. Harrogate haven't won a league match since September.
Now, brace yourselves for a new Hollywood movie. It's the latest adaptation of the famous Wuthering Heights.
Yes, the novel was, of course, written by Emily Bronte in Haworth in West Yorkshire and set on the wild and windswept moors above her home. Wuthering Heights 2026 style will be in cinemas from Valentine's weekend.
Katie Oscroft has been at the place where it all began.
Well, you can be sure that many more people will be beating a path here once this movie is out, and such is the appeal of Wuthering Heights that there have already been 10 films. The first, back in the day, was a silent movie. The second starred Sir Laurence Olivier, no less, but the 2026 version promises to be very different. Here's a little preview.
Falling.
I can follow you like a dog to the end of the world.
Fall in love.
Well, the film is out a week on Friday and it's already the talk of the town. People are really excited to see it.
It's had so much attention, I can't even start to measure it. It's been incredible. There are so many people that are so excited for this film.
I think everyone will probably flood here after the films and bring it back into the modern era again. But yeah, definitely, especially like today where it's misty.
Foggy, isn't it? It's like proper. I was just saying that. It's like walking in footsteps. I went, here we are. It's like, yeah, you're going back to Wuthering Heights.
The main character in it, they all fancy him because he's a famous film star. So yeah, they'll definitely be going to see him.
And this area of the museum that I'm in now celebrates all of the Brontes, and I'm joined by Rebecca York. You're the director here, and that's the idea, isn't it? You reel them in with the movie and then they learn so much more.
They do, and people are so excited. The Brontes hold a real special place in lots of people's hearts, and it's lovely when a new film comes out or a new book or a new adaptation, and people do come here to find out more about their lives and hopefully buy things from our shop.
And you've got some clothes at the time, some dresses here, but I guess that the star of this film will have a few more dresses than this.
Oh, amazing. I've read somewhere that she's got something like 51 costumes throughout the whole film, they look extraordinary, and the whole set design and everything looks really interesting, so we can't wait to see that.
And talking of dresses, Rebecca, you've actually been invited to the UK premiere. We've had LA, we've had Paris, but never mind that. How much are you looking forward to that?
Well, I've had to practice walking in my heels because I don't wear those very often in Haworth. No, it's really exciting. There's a few of us going from the museum, and obviously we're really looking forward to it and walking the red carpet.
Well, thank you very much, Rebecca. Do enjoy tomorrow at the UK premiere. I should say that, of course, if you want to follow in the footsteps of these Hollywood stars, of course, begin here, but also you could go to Reeth in Richmond or to Hawes in Wensleydale. And if you come soon, you can also experience the authentic Wuthering Heights mist and rain.
Thank you very much, Katie. Of course, we must name check the two Hollywood stars in it. Margot Robbie
Jacob Elordi as well.
There we go.
Big time,
Yes.
bringing a bit of Hollywood spice to
Not our lovely Katie Oscroft.
to the moors. Fancy that one, Keza?
I'm so up for that. If it's not only for the delicious landscapes.
Yeah. And slightly miserable weather.
Amazing part of the world to film in. So they must have had a great time there.
Look at it there.
Costumes. I know, absolutely gorgeous. Rolling mist, Wuthering Heights weather. We're really struggling, aren't we? And struggling to sort of land the positive. All I've got to say is we're not the only ones under the influence of low pressure. This is today's scene. We've been talking of what feels like for weeks and weeks and months of these low pressure systems just spiralling in from the Atlantic towards us, but they're not always coming to us. They're sometimes coming further south because the jet stream is south. So parts of Portugal, Spain, France and even Italy are under the influence of these lows. So great for the skiing season. There's been lots of snow there, but for everybody, particularly for parts of Portugal and Spain, they've had a really wet start to 2026 as well. So we're bringing the joy. Big thank you to Gary of York for seeing not only the snowdrops, but the crocuses are coming out now. So we get a little bit of colour as well as the joy. Sue spotted them in Wakefield, some lovely purple here, and Sean saw one open in Ossett. So a big thank you, weatherphotos at itv.com, for all your photos. Bring that joy. Please bring that joy. I'm trying.
We'll do our best. We'll do our best. Well, actually, let's try and bring you some joy now, actually, because we're shining a spotlight again on the unsung heroes of our region. And tonight we're in North Yorkshire, where a group of volunteers are getting in shape and getting their community looking ship-shape as well.
Yes, that's the aim of Good Gym, a team which runs to the scene of a community project, tackles it super fast and then runs back to their base. Sally Simpson caught up with them at Park Grove Primary School in York, where they're sprucing up the playground in a very special way.
On a cold winter's night in the heart of York, out of the darkness come the Good Gym volunteers. They've already run 3K before they've got here, and now the hard work starts.
We're trimming down this willow. We've done this several times. We do it sporadically, keep it trim, and then all the bits that we cut off, other team are gathering it, taking it over to another area, and there's like a huge wigwam made out of willow that we've been weaving over many months. And it's all for the children to play with.
Is it fair to say what you lack in skill you make up for an enthusiasm?
Yeah, definitely.
We've been coming back and doing this specific teepee now. We've figured out for at least 2, maybe 3, even 3 years. So we first started when it was just the first poles, and to see it growing and growing every year when they cut the willow down is really nice.
Like a stealth team of volunteering ninjas, powered only by team spirit and head torches, it's the camaraderie which keeps them going for this power hour.
It just makes every day a bit different, so you just end up doing things that you would never thought to do, and sometimes you tell people you're doing them and it sounds crazy, but we just always have a lot of fun and feel like we're doing something good at the same time.
Sometimes people stop us on the street and thank us for jobs we've done as well, so that's really nice.
It's amazing how much work you can get done in a short space of time. You've got that number of people.
Yeah, it's really motivational having all the people around you to keep you going when you're thinking of stopping and all that.
Swarming over the playground, their work won't be truly visible till the morning, when their efforts will come to light for the pupils here at Park Grove.
More than anything, love seeing the impact that we make. So if we can come to a task, really get involved for about 45 minutes to an hour, make a huge difference, it means the world to us to be able to then come back and see what it's like in the future. So it's great to just get out and get stuck in with things. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done, guys. Great work.
Getting the year off to a good start, the Good Gym volunteers racked up 560 good deeds in January alone. And collectively, they've run, walked and cycled 10,000 kilometres. Not ones to stand still, their target will continue to grow. And just like that, in little more than an hour, the Good Gym volunteers have done good, got fit and disappeared, leaving behind them a trail of evidence that they were here. It's freezing cold tonight, but it's so heartwarming to know that there are dozens of people like them who are in your corner.
Well, perhaps
Jim, I like the look of it.
I like the look of it. Perhaps if Sally had pulled the trainers on herself, she might not have been quite so cold.
Her hands look
I know,
red
she
raw
looked
with cold,
absolutely
don't
bitterly
they?
cold. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, of course, if you know anyone who's making a difference in your corner of the Calendar region, we really want to hear from you. Do get in touch. You can email calendar@itv.com. That's calendar@itv.com, quoting "in your corner." And of course, we look forward to hearing from you.
We do. OK, well, we're going to go to Kerry now and get a bit more on that weather.
Today's forecast: seafood and sugar cube towns. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Hello again. Yes, winds picking up tonight, rain on the way for tomorrow, remaining unsettled. But yes, the snowdrops looking nice, even in those soggy conditions first thing this morning. And as we head through closer towards the weekend, rain will come and go, but there will be spells of rain, often cloudy. And yes, that cold east wind starting to pick up through tonight and into tomorrow. This was the scene today, the rain nudging its way northwards, plenty of cloud across the region. Those clearer spells to the south didn't really make their way north in time, and so after dark everything tends to fill in a rather cloudy story, misty and murky, poor visibility over the hills, and some showers working from southeast to northwest through the night, but the emphasis on the chilly temperatures by dawn and those winds, strong and gusty from an easterly direction. So a blustery start as we head into tomorrow. 7:46 and 4:55 are your sun times. Many places will be dry, but it's windy from the word go. Poor visibility over the hills, and then rain working northwards across all parts of the region into the afternoon, becoming really quite wet and wintry over the hills. So we could see some snow with a fairly soft covering of wet snow, perhaps right over the tops once more. The winds, though, blowing it around, so if you're driving, not great. And for all of us, an unsettled day and feeling bitterly cold, more like sub-zero in exposure to that easterly. As we head towards Friday, the winds might become a little bit lighter, but you can see systems continuing to develop to the south, so cloudy skies, outbreaks of rain. But as we head into the weekend, not quite so chilly and maybe some dry weather, at least on Saturday, in between the outbreaks of rain.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
There you go, quite choppy at the coast you saw there, and I thought I'd show you this just because we need all the feel-goods, don't we?
Oh, it's looking rough on the Humber.
Who is that?
A slightly doctored photograph of Jack. Yeah, basically saying steady as you go along the North Sea. A big thank you to Humber Rescue.
Good message, Jack.
Love the way he's holding onto the walkie-talkie with his paw.
It's brilliant,
yes,
isn't it?
of course.
I suspect that might have been the product of AI, but there you go.
One of the joys of AI.
Exactly. That's it from us. Katie's back with the late news at 10:30. See you later on. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.